Okay, so yeah, let me first ask you, where did you decide to get the coaching?
Because I'm bad as fuck.
Do you think so? I mean,
Yeah.
I guess you want
No,
to reach
honestly,
diamond.
I am hard stuck and I don't know why, and that's why I'm choosing it.
Okay, I think I need to turn you up a bit. Can you talk again?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
yeah, it should
don't
be better.
think I'm bad in general,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I'm not good enough to get out of platinum, so that's
Okay,
why I purchased the coaching.
yeah, makes sense, of course. So I mean, what do you think your biggest weakness is then? Because I think actually your OPGG and whatever stats wise, it looks completely fine. So I mean, why do you think you still lose a lot of games?
Uh, if I say that I don't have ego problems, I'd be lying.
Okay, okay.
And you know, I I get a win streak, then I lose a couple of games, and I tilt and I don't stop playing.
Okay. But I
So
mean, that's a very easy fix, right?
I'm yeah, yeah. But I start to play bad when those things happen, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I used to be the same, right? It's just at some point you need to realize that it really just does not help at all, right? It's always just bad if you tilt Q and whatever. You always lose LP. You basically just throw away all the work you did before. So, I mean, I can't help you with that other than tell you to just simply not do it, of course. But of course, you know it yourself. You just need to maybe realize that it really causes you probably more like pain in general than just not playing at all. And in the moment, you might feel like destructive or whatever, and then you're like, fuck it, I'll queue 10 games in a row and lose them all. But like, the next day, you probably feel stupid for it, right?
I have pretty trash MMR.
Mm,
Also, like
really?
2 months ago, I had like 40% win rate,
Okay.
and over the course
Okay. I mean,
summer.
but are there like, I mean, okay, so mental is definitely a weakness you say, but in game, like in game situations, maybe like in the late game, you sometimes struggle to close out games or that kind of stuff. Are there
Yeah,
weaknesses like
yeah.
that?
I feel Ekko as a champion. He's a very strong mid-late game champion, but
Mm-hmm.
he definitely gets outscaled by some stuff.
Really? I mean, he does get outscaled by some stuff, but not by a lot of people, honestly. Like, he's
And
just you need to play very patiently in the late game, but he's a very strong scaling champ.
yeah, I know.
Mm.
But in the current meta, I feel a lot of I struggle with a couple of champions. Like
Tell me
for an
some.
example, if I see Gragas, I just dodge the game.
I mean, yeah, it's mostly because Gragas is just like a very strong champ, right? But he doesn't really outscale you. It's more like he's just always gonna be super annoying, right? But I wouldn't say he really outscales you. You can still have more impact than him in the late game. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's not really about that, right? I think in the late game you can always have game-winning impacts with Ekko just by getting picks and like creating numbers advantages and that kind of stuff. The
Yeah,
most important part is, of course, just playing very patiently, not overcommitting to stupid plays and that stuff. But do you think like your late game is strong for you, or is it like the early game maybe where you sometimes struggle? Or I mean,
I often win games where I get a massive lead in the
mhm,
early mid game rather than just outscale them.
okay, yeah. I mean, of course, those are usually the easiest games to win, right? If you
I
just
think I struggle more in the late game than than it's supposed to.
hmm. Okay. I guess yeah. I guess we'll also talk about that. There might be reasons in your item building why that is, but
Hmm.
are there like maybe some bad habits or something that you notice in your gameplay?
I sometimes I delay my tire to boots
Okay.
in favor of my second item.
Okay. I mean, I guess yeah. The boots are actually something I wanted to talk about with you, but we'll do that in the OPGG review.
Yeah,
Because you only build Sorks, right? You never build
But I
Mercs.
don't buy mercs. Yeah, I don't
Mm.
like this item.
Yeah, but I feel like there's some games where they just make a lot of sense, right? And I'm sure that some games feel very difficult for you to play in the late game because you don't have any tenacity.
In my
Um,
mind, I think, uh, well, they have a change CC. If they change CC me, I am dead anyway, and I
no,
cannot.
but yeah, but that's where you're wrong because they often can't chain CC you if you have tenacity, you know, because they the way chain CCs often works is like people know the amount of length their CC has, right? So if you have 30% cut of that, then they often just can't chain CC, right? For example, champs like Lissandra and whatever, it's so much harder for them to chain CC you if you have even some amount of tenacity. So, but we'll get into that. I mean, um, I guess I want to ask you. I don't know how many sessions of mine you've watched, but like, if I tell you, what do you think good mechanics are, or what defines good mechanics?
Um, I don't know. Maybe don't messing up my combo. Hitting W,
Mm.
something like this.
Yeah, that's like okay, that's like the small part of, and that's why I'm always asking this question because that's basically the answer I always get. But that's like that's your mechanics, right? That's the only mechanics that's mechanics focused on your champ. But having good mechanics is about so much more, right? It's about playing about around all the abilities in the game and like actually playing around them
Yeah.
and being aware of them and being able to react to them in proper ways. So that's what you really should internalize, in my opinion. Just like thinking of mechanics as being aware of all the abilities in the game, right? Your abilities, of course, are like four or I guess five with your passive. Sorry. Mm, so that's only like 10% of the abilities in the game, right? So you need to play around all the other 90% as well. So, and that's why I'm always asking this question because it's really something when that clicked for me when I really started actually thinking about the stuff that's going on in the game, like the abilities and that kind of stuff. It made me so much better, especially mechanically. And you can really tell oftentimes when people don't think in that way, right? When they get surprised by certain abilities and that kind of stuff. So.
About the boot, by the way,
Mhm.
also another reason that I'm building Sorks every game. It's like 90% of the games
You
I'm
play
going
Green Smite, right?
green smite,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
I think stacking tenacity. There was some patch some time ago when they introduced that thing that you cannot stack tenacity. There were some tires. I didn't completely understand what they were doing, but whatever. You cannot stack like the tenacity rune with the mercs and
What?
some stuff like that.
What do you mean? You can stack.
You cannot stack the tenacity. Eh?
No, you can, for sure.
Well, maybe I understood that.
No, the thing is like maybe I don't know if that's what you're referring to, but if you have like CC that's very short, like the minimum amount for CC duration is always going to be 0.5 seconds. You can't go get any CC below that. That's like longer than that, right? So maybe that's what you're referring to, right? You can't get it lower than that.
Maybe.
But you can definitely get more than 30% tenacity, right? Like
Maybe I
in
misunderstood something, but
yeah. Well, first of all, I mean, I guess are you using any kind of jungle timer app? Is usually the last question I ask, like Blitz or Professor or something.
Professor.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
using
Yeah, so let me just share my screen really quick then, and we'll talk about the OPGG. Some things I noticed. Uh, well, first of all, right, like what I noticed right away is your jungle or like your farm numbers are pretty good. Like they're definitely above average for most people I coach. I mean, they're kind of low in some games, I would say. They could be higher, but only by like a small amount, right? Like maybe by 0.5 or in some games maybe like they should be around 8 or whatever. But you have those games where you hit 8 CS as well, so
Yeah.
that's fine, right? And some games you just need to prioritize killing over farming, and that's fine. As I said, right, this season I also don't have the highest farm numbers. Maybe they should be a little bit higher, but
Yeah.
um, still, this is not a huge problem.
It's a problem that I had in the past that I over farm, like if that
Hmm.
makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then you don't have enough impact. You feel like
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's about finding the balance, right? It really, like that's the skill, I guess, of jungling. Um, yeah, well, like your deaths are your kills are good. Your deaths are fine. They could be a little bit lower. Definitely gonna help you if they're slightly lower, but they're not problematic, right? You see a lot of people with like 6 deaths or whatever on
Yes,
average, so this is fine.
sometimes I go like I'm starting to disrespect them at some point, and
Hmm. So it's like
sometimes
mental again, kind of.
uh, if I am 17-0, I am
Yeah.
starting to disrespect
I
them a
mean,
lot, and
you can, right? If you're
I
17 and
give
0.
massive shutdowns for nothing. Sometimes.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it's obviously that's not optimal. It happens to me as well, though. Like sometimes you just get overconfident or whatever. But oftentimes, if you're 17 and 0, you're still gonna win the game, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, of course. But yeah, generally, like your stats are looking good, your farm is looking fine. The biggest thing I noticed is with your runes, honestly, that you don't go Futures Market. I think Futures Market is so much better than Cosmic Insight. I
I
would,
don't
I can
really.
definitely recommend you. It's so good.
The reason I go cosmic is I can flash more often, and
Mm-hmm.
I can use my rocket belt more often. And
Okay. It has, of course, it's good. It's a good rune. I'm not saying it's bad. I think just Futures Market is better. I mean, have you tried playing with Futures Market or no?
yeah, I was running the first strike rune page for some
Okay.
time, but
Yeah, but have
lately I
you
don't.
have you also tried it with this and with Futures Market?
Lately, no. I electrocute with futures market with futures.
Futures Market for me is
And
also just making the gameplay more consistent, because you're just gonna be able to uh, complete your items more consistently. It's just how it is. It's gonna be easier,
makes sense.
and also the green smite. Of course, you say you're building it. I mean, it has the highest win rate, I think, on UGG. I'm personally a huge fan of the blue smite. I basically can't play without blue smite anymore. It's like the blue smite is one thing that really helps you to be able to join fights and that stuff, right? Like just running around the map faster. It's really useful.
The thing the way I think about it, it's you cannot really not use the green smite,
Same
but
with the blue smite.
yeah, I feel a little bit more squishy when I run the blue smite.
You
It's not
are
like I'm
right.
not.
You are squishier, of course, but
Yeah.
uh, it's like a trade-off. For me personally, it's like a trade-off that's worth it. But as I said, Greensmite has the highest win rate. I'm not telling you to necessarily change it, but maybe try out Bluesmite and see if it works for you, right? Like, just try if it feels better, and then, of course, you're winning a lot recently, right? So technically, all you need to do is just keep playing, and you should reach diamond. But of course, you have tried before. Your tier graph, it's like going up and down every now and then. So there must be something you're lacking.
Yeah,
So I'm just telling you things you could definitely try out and see if they work for you. I like that you're playing Electrocute. You're also playing Corvus and Sunlands. Do you actually like think about when to take either one, or do you just try it?
uh, if if I know for sure that I outscale them anyway, I'm going
Mm-hmm.
Electro.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, I'm going Electro because with Dark Harvest, it feels mm, like I'm weaker in the early stages.
Yeah, you're right. And also, you need to be so active for it to even be worth it. That's why I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Electrocute
exactly,
more as well right
exactly.
now. Like I'm only playing Electrocute at the moment, and it feels really good. It
Me
just
same,
helps you
same.
get through the it helps you get through the early game, right? So it's so good.
Exactly, yeah. And for Electro to be outscaled by Dark Harvest, it really takes a long time,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
not really that important.
Yeah, like Echo is not about runes, he's way more about items. So that's also why I'm recommending Futures Market, right? Just item completion is so big for Echo. It's such huge power spikes. Yeah, I don't know. Like your item building is also fine. You seem to switch up Naturus and Lichbane. Right, like
Yeah,
the biggest thing I told you is of course the boots. If you start playing with Bluesmite for a couple of games, definitely build mercs in some of these games.
I have big question by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Scroll up in
Yeah,
my match history. There is a game where I'm 4-8.
this one.
Yeah, which is completely not my bad because my bot lane was trolling. But in this team comp versus this team comp, do you build anti-heal or not?
You as Echo? I
Yeah.
mean, no, look like the No. Like, not, especially not if your team is already building it right.
Because oh wait, that's not the game. That's not the game.
Oh.
Uh, it was versus.
This one or what? The last one?
Whatever. I don't. Whatever. I don't see.
I think as Ekko, you generally,
It
if
was. It was Niwa. It was Niwa, and
maybe it's
oh,
not
there it
updated.
is. There it is.
Oh, is this one or what?
No, downside. It was Niwa and Fiddlesticks bot lane. Enemy team.
This one.
Yeah, this one. You see, Niwa is so fat,
Mm-hmm.
and I cannot touch her because
Yeah.
she uses W, and then she is back to full HP.
Yeah, Nila is so annoying to deal with as Ekko when she's fed, for sure. I don't
Yeah,
think anti-heal would make a difference here, to be honest.
bot lane was trolling,
Yeah,
and
not a
I
great, I
couldn't
know.
make impact at all.
Yeah, it happens, right? You just need to accept. So some games you will lose. Uh, it is what it is, you know. I don't think anti-healing would have helped you here. It probably wouldn't have made a difference.
Yeah.
And also the Nautilus bot, of course, it's only when he's getting attacked, so she could technically avoid it, but yeah, it's just some games are just gonna be impossible to carry because of comps and whatever. Like Nyla is a champ you basically can't shut down if she's fed, and of course if she drops 26 kills, you're just not gonna do much here. Like the fact that you can't even proc passive on her is just.
Also, I remember the Fiddlesticks didn't allow me to play the game.
Yeah, as well, right? They have a lot of, or like he has like point to click CC and that kind of stuff. So again, but I mean, this is a game where just because of like point to click CC alone, I would think mercs are definitely valuable here. Of course, you have the green smite, but green smite is also only active if you're full HP, right? The tenacity.
Yeah.
So you don't always have it, and with the boots, you always have the tenacity. So against champs like Lulu, Fiddlesticks, like Sejuani as well, right? They're just champs where you should generally build mercs, in my opinion. And the defensive value is very high there, and the Sorks are not even. They feel good, of course, if you're allowed to build them, but they're not necessary oftentimes. Not even for one-shotting. Like in the late game, you can still one-shot squishy champs oftentimes. Okay, I guess let's look at your League of Graphs as well. See, like, you're above average in basically every aspect, which means you should just be climbing. And of course, you have 55% win rates, so you are climbing. You just also for climbing. I mean, all of these games are basically just wasted. You know, like 40 games or 50 games where you just wasted. Of course, you don't need to be a full-on one trick. I also have some games where I don't play Ekko, but just think of these games as like losses.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't really have a second champion. If they ban Ekko or pick Ekko,
But does he get banned that often? For me, he never gets banned. And then these games as well, right? They also add up. All of these one games, where like these games where you're like only playing 5 or less games, they're just.
That's not solo queue.
Ah, okay. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, so it's not quite as many, but still, like these couple of games, or these games especially, of course, there are losses. They're gonna add up for the your overall rank, of course, right? But yeah, like this is good, right? Your duels winner is pretty high. It can still be a little bit higher, but this is very good, of course. Also, teamfight participation, everything. No big problems here. Generally, I would say that there are no big problems. Also, your item completion time is really good. So honestly, like I don't know why you're not climbing. To be honest, I mean, it must really be the mental boom situations where you're like losing a lot of games in a row because you're just tilt climbing or tilt queuing. Yeah. Also, you're not surrendering too much or whatever. I guess yeah. I feel like if you 6 to 8 games is where you really should stop playing. Oftentimes, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, it really shows. And this is also interesting. And like, if you, yeah, that's basically what he said, right? If you get ahead early, you win a lot of games. And then, but if it goes like between 25 and 40, that's something. Do you feel like sometimes maybe if something goes wrong or whatever, you're not really fully tryharding anymore, or is it? I mean, that's what it kind of looks like to me here with this graph.
No, I don't know. I tilt sometimes.
Hmm. Yeah. But do you still try your hardest? Because of course, I tilt as well, but I still usually try my hardest to win the game. I think
I
that's the
feel
important
like I
part.
try my hardest, but
Okay.
sometimes the pressure is overwhelming, especially if I have a losing mid.
Mm-hmm.
If I have a losing mid, the game is so hard
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah, for sure.
the mid laner has so much pressure all over the map.
Yeah, and he has so much impact on the jungle.
Yeah, and they invade me like they couple
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
are going in my jungle and I cannot step on the map, if that makes sense.
Mm.
Also, I had a pattern. I think I got rid of it. Where I stay with the map with so much gold in my pocket,
Okay.
just because I'm so fat and nobody can kill me.
But that's
And
fine
I
usually. That's usually good. I mean, it really depends on the situation, but generally, the more fed you are, the less you need to go base because, like, if you're really, really fed, you should often just go base for like full item completions. Of course, unless you're at a risk of dying, then of course spend your gold. But if you're like so strong that you're like one whole item above anyone else, anyways, and whatever, then usually you should just stay on the map and have as much impact as possible, in my opinion.
What about the Drakes though?
Uh,
Because I
let's
don't
see.
prioritize Drake over
That's
Herald
maybe a
most of the
problem.
time.
Like, nah, I think in general you should prioritize both things, right? Just prioritize. That's also a reason why I often lose games. I would say, like my biggest weakness at the moment. But actually, you Rift Heralds or you said you prioritize Heralds over Drake, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I think you should just really try to get everything if you can. Oftentimes the game states are in a way where one team can just get all the objectives. And especially Herald, you can oftentimes just sneak, like you can just often take it and it's not really contested.
Yeah.
And Drakes, of course, you just need to find the right situations to fight for them. But yeah, I'm really interested to see you play. I guess you can go in queue.
Okay.
Yeah, like stats wise and everything, you're fine. Maybe objectives are something you really need to start focusing on more for winning games. That could be something. I guess that's your biggest weakness, but it's the same for me. My objective control is also not that great, and of course I still managed to get to masters. So it's like, yeah, it really depends, I guess. But objectives are very important this season for sure. Especially, I've
I
been
think
watching some high elo junglers recently, and they really prioritize them a lot.
they buffed Dragon, right?
They actually nerfed them again, right? Like they buffed them really hard, and then they nerfed them back, nerfed them a little bit a few patches ago. But yeah, they're
I
overall very
cut
important.
bot lane like 90% of the games because just the agency on bot right now is high and
Yeah,
I'm trying to keep up with it.
yeah. Like ADC is the most important role for sure. Do you do the Raptors path, by the way?
I don't really like it
Why not?
because I don't like to make early echo plays, if that makes sense. I feel like my first clear is my biggest weakness, and I don't really I don't really love to gank early. Because if I do the
Hmm.
Raptor's path and then insta
You don't
gank
need to
bot,
gank early with it though. Like
mm,
you don't need to. It doesn't really force you to be more active early. It just makes
sometimes
you a bit stronger early.
sometimes I do it, sometimes I'm just full clearing. Depends on the game.
Okay. How do you decide? Like I personally don't know. I
Mm,
always just do it at the moment. I don't really know when I should
I do
do
it if I
full clear now.
if on the red side, on the side of my red buff,
Mm-hmm.
if the lane is volatile, I do it and I gank after the third camp.
Okay.
I almost don't recall without a gank.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean that's maybe also a weakness, right? If you say you don't like ganking early, maybe you're missing out on some opportunities. Because Ekko is not the strongest early game champ for sure, but at the same time he can still gank, and if it's a 3v2 or like a 2v1, then you will still win a lot of ganks, right? And he's a completely fine champ. After level 3, he's a full-on viable champ for fighting. You just need to play better oftentimes mechanically. Okay, so you're banning Hecarim. I think that's fine. I mean, I'm personally banning Kha'Zix at the moment, but Hecarim's also very broken.
I don't see good Kazakhs players at this elo, to be
Yeah, I
honest.
mean, you don't really need to play against like a good Kha'Zix for him to be annoying, in my opinion, but he's just very strong at the moment, right? Like, Kha'Zix is even played in pro play, so...
If he is good, he can beat me at any stage of the game. But
that's the problem, right? And Hecarim is kind of like... Hecarim is annoying in your elo probably because he gets a lot of free kills. I'd definitely try out Futures Market, and Sports. He's annoying because, like, oftentimes in your... No, I think you should still go Treasure Hunter. It's like, in your elos, he often... Like, your elo's not that low, but, like, still he probably gets a lot of free kills by just running at lanes, right? But it's like, overall... he's kind of fightable, I feel like, at the moment, especially because a lot of Heckrams, they're not building super tanky. You can oftentimes just shut them down, in my experience, at least.
Exactly. The thing about Hecarim, it's not like I cannot play against it, but my team is feeding him.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I'm honestly not seeing a lot of Hecarim myself. That's why I'm not banning him. But I used to ban him last season as well. Right? It's a very annoying champ sometimes. It's really a different experience, I guess, with how much you see him. Okay. Like this game actually, mercs have insane value, right?
Yeah.
I think you should try Blue Smite as well. And like mercs have insane value, of course, because they're also AP, like basically full AP except for Jinx. So.
Okay.
Do you look at the professor thing a lot? Would you say?
Yeah.
Look at your teammates and that stuff.
It helps me. It helps me with the game plan.
I think it's a mistake in my opinion. It's like your game plan should revolve way more around yourself than around your teammates. You know, like, and the only thing that will oftentimes do is just that it tilts you. You see, like your ADC is really bad or whatever, and then you don't even want to play anymore, right? Especially when you're telling me that you're oftentimes mentally affected by kind of stuff where you get tilted. I feel like maybe that's something you should stop doing. It really, like, I don't look up my teammates ever, and it doesn't matter, right? Like, it doesn't give you a big advantage. Like people think it gives you a big advantage, but it mostly just tilts you in circumstances where it doesn't need to tilt you. Okay, so what kind of clear are you gonna do here? I think there's actually a lot of options for ganking.
Full clear towards bot lane.
Okay.
And I will be looking for a gank bot after the full clear.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. I would say that's fine.
The reason I like this path is because most of the junglers, they start bot side in this elo. They path upwards.
Also buy Blue Smite. Can you restart the stream with like screen share, because I can't see your mouse?
Yeah. Is it fine now?
No, like you need to share your screen and not the application, because I don't know.
Just a sec.
Discord doesn't want you to see the mouse, I guess.
No?
Yeah, no, I can see. Yeah, I mean, full clearing is fine. It definitely would be a game for just doing the Raptors path as well. Honestly, like, the big thing with the Raptors path is really that you don't need anyone to leash, right? That's why I like it so much.
Yeah, also something that I do, I don't
Why are you pinging for vision?
necessarily need leash. Like I'm pinging, but if If he decides to go top, I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
But
but
if
like yeah, of course, but then you're just kind of slow, you know.
yeah,
Like the Raptors path is completely fine doing it on your own. It's just I don't know, I'm just a big fan of it. I've been told by many people that it has helped them as well. I'm just saying, right? Like if you're looking for things that could maybe improve your gameplay, it's definitely something to try. But you said you're doing it sometimes, right? Just
sometimes I'm doing it, sometimes I don't.
okay.
Kind of depends.
It's just for me, like I personally really don't think I ever actually know when I should be doing it and when I shouldn't. So I just always do it. Like you might think that you have a game plan or whatever, but it's oftentimes just probably gonna be wrong, or like not yeah, like not fully right at least. So it doesn't really make sense to make game plans too much. Like that's a mistake I often see with players that they make too many game plans, and then when it doesn't work out, they just lose. You know. So it's like you need to. It's much better to just be able to adapt and see what's happening in the game than make too many plans beforehand, because that just sets you up to failure if something doesn't work out the way you think it will work out.
Yeah.
And oftentimes when I see people like typing and whatever in my team what's gonna happen, then I just mute them right away because I know they're probably just idiots.
Yeah, I often mute all.
Yeah, I mean that's generally smart, I guess. Are you using the F keys as well?
Yeah.
The thing is, I recently had a coaching session as well where someone was doing that, but he often just missed the important information, right? The important information is usually the enemy HP, and sometimes you don't see that with the F keys. Right, like for example, now when you're looking at the Twitch, you didn't really see the HP of the Jinx, and you want to see that. You don't give a fuck about your Twitch. See, like she's full HP, so you're just gonna take the crab and maybe look mid, but you can also look bot, see where the Jinx is. Right? Yeah, I think it's gankable for sure now. Hmm. Okay. I generally don't think it's worth trading flash for flash. I think you should only trade your flash for kills early. Of course, now you can gank her again, but it's still like you really only want to use the flash if you actually get a kill.
Nah.
Maybe. I think it's worth
They
it.
have disworded.
Yeah. And now you
Yeah,
wasted a little bit of
that's a
time.
waste of time.
Yeah. Make sure not to get cancelled as well.
La
You
la
know.
la 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 la.
I think a Momo can't really invade you though, so I mean it still sucks. Of course, you waste a lot of time,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's not as horrible as it could be. Okay, I mean now you kind of need to stay.
I cannot counter gank this, by the way.
No, you can. Okay. I think you should buy the blasting wand and sweeper. And probably no control ward, actually. It's like control wards are such a bait, you know? They're really a waste of gold most of the time. Dude, this fucking Kale is tilting me. She's picking Kale and then wondering why she's losing early. If this Kale starts running it or something, we can also look at another game. Okay. Damn, what a loser. He bought a new account, like he was silver one, right? So just like a
Yeah,
quote
nothing
unquote
about
Smurf that thinks he deserves to be in a higher elo, but it's just his fucking shit mental that's holding him back. Or probably just him being bad as well. I think that there's no point going for like random invites like these, by the way. I mean, I don't know how, of course you're not really maybe too focused anymore at this
I
point,
don't really, yeah.
but still, like
Yeah, but
generally, I don't
look,
know if you go for these kind of invites often. It's just like
no,
unless you really know that the camp is up, then there's no real point to go there, you know.
I have nothing to do at the moment.
Yeah, I mean you can clear your crux, of course, but yeah, like also this Drake is of course very risky. I mean, yeah, just go next really quick. We
Yeah.
can talk about some of the stuff that happened in the early. I mean, we can just look at the stuff that happened early, and then we look at one of your games that you already played, right? I think that's damn.
That's a bad game.
It really is. Like, does that happen often? Would you say or no in your games?
Uh, no.
Okay, that's good. I mean, maybe I thought maybe on your server
It's
or whatever it
it's
happens a lot.
accidental. It's
Okay,
accidental.
okay. Unlucky.
Like I
Really
cannot
not.
defend this mid.
No, you can't. I mean, of course not. I hope your team just presses yes. Oh, they really want to play it? What? I mean, why? Who thinks that you win this game? 4v5?
No idea. Maybe both now. That's a complete waste of time.
It is, yeah. Let me just log into your account really quick as well. I hope I didn't show it on stream. No, I didn't. Winnable. I mean, okay, well, it's good that you also do the old trick.
Yeah, but it's whatever.
It is, of course, yeah. Not...
It is what I meant about the mid lane though.
Of course, I mean, this guy legit completely ran it down, right? Or like he... Of course, like he just left the game. By the way, someone in chat said if you get a kill before 15 minutes, then he will give the sub. So maybe try your hardest for the next 4 minutes at least.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
And bot lane is killable for sure. Yeah, they just died in the 2v2.
Ah,
Okay.
sure. Okay.
Um, Did this, like, I don't know, this Twitch, he really thinks you're playing a game.
I swear that I'm not that bad usually.
No, I mean, it wasn't really you here. I don't know if like the Raptors path would have changed things. It could have, because it would have helped you be active earlier, and maybe you could have helped mid. Who knows? But of course, it's not like I'm not trying to make excuses for this Kale. She's just a fucking loser. But um, still, like maybe it would have helped. Just be able, like, especially helping mid and that stuff, dude. Why do they not want to surrender? At least you have 3 more minutes to uh maybe get me a sub. Oh, you can actually kill him.
He knows.
You can still kill him, maybe. Okay. Damn, you take so much damage from the
He
tower.
knows. Uh, it's killable.
Sick, okay. Give me the sub. Damn, good job.
Of course, this guy.
Damn. But it's actually good to see. You
Fucking
actually
guy.
really play around the abilities there. That was good to see as well. Thank you for the sub. Techno never dies. 96. No, but like especially when you were diving the Shen and you didn't like waste your E or anything on the Shen W, of course that was good. That's exactly what I mean, right? With mechanics, actually thinking about the abilities and you weren't even looking. You knew that he of course would just W and then you won't be able to proc passive. I don't know if there was any way to actually kill him there under the tower, but I guess we can see that as well in the replay. Maybe there was a way, but probably not. I don't know why your team really wants to play this though. Like you're all losing all the objectives and everything. It's a
Yeah,
waste of
it's just.
time.
Now some. I I don't like to go for plays if I don't have ultimate. By the way.
I mean that's generally smart. You just really need to know, of course. Like sometimes you will still be able to play the game without your ult, but it's also really comp dependent, right? And some games you really need the ult to even be able to fight. But I guess the more ahead you are, the
Um,
the more you can do without the ult.
he's not running.
Well, honestly, like looking at your gameplay, I think the biggest reason why you're probably not climbing then is has to be mental. You're definitely like you're easily good enough for diamond, especially right. Like I don't know, people are saying UNE is even a little bit lower in skill, so especially there, you should definitely be able to hit diamond then. But like even on EOS, you probably hit diamond with this way you're playing.
I'm actually plat 3 in Europe West. I don't see that much of a difference, by the
Yeah,
way.
I don't know. People just say it's probably just because the server is smaller, like less players usually, of course, means a little bit less skill on average, but I also don't think it's that much of a
If
difference,
there is any
probably.
kind of difference, it's in high elo, because in low elo,
Yeah,
but
especially, yeah, I
yeah,
would
if
say
you are not.
especially in high elo, of course, the difference should be noticeable because there's just more players. Yeah, I think in lower elos, people just like to say this kind of stuff to feel better about themselves or whatever, but I really don't think there's a huge difference.
Ay, 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 ay. Ay, ay, ay.
The enemies need to stop dying. Your team really doesn't want to FF. Yeah, as I said, Merc's of course really good here. Why are the enemies so bad though?
True.
You would have won that game so easily if this scale wasn't a fucking moron.
Yeah, but Rumble is putting so much pressure.
Of course, but still. I mean, Rumble is a really underrated champ. He's so OP. People just don't like playing him, I guess. He's a bit of a weird playstyle, but he's actually very strong. He's like viable in 3 roles. He's really good top, mid, and even support.
My team is keeping me hostage in a coaching session.
Yeah. I guess I can also look for a game maybe where that we can look at in your match history. I guess it would be useful to look at a loss, probably. Maybe one where you remember. I guess we could look at the game that you mentioned, right, where you felt like you couldn't do anything. That would be interesting. Maybe you could have done something. I mean, for sure you could have done something at some point, but yeah, like this, the one with the super fat Nyla. I'd like to see that.
Ah.
Why is this drink so trash, man? They actually want to lose. I mean, maybe you can win. I'm not sure.
Imagine.
It's like they're throwing so hard.
Okay, but what is this Shen doing?
I mean, he also ulted the Yumi. Quite an idiot. Problem is, of course, that you're also not very strong here, sadly. I don't think you can do anything on your own here. Actually. Oh, this guy's so squishy, what?
Uh-huh.
But he does deal a lot of damage, though. Damn. Maybe you could have waited for your
Why?
bot lane. They will still press now.
Why are we playing the game?
The enemies would just group for once and ace you.
Maybe if we shut down Rumble, the game would be playable, but
Yeah, I mean, you're so weak though, you know, you only have one item. It's just... And of course your jungle is perma-contested at this point. Most of your gold is in this Swain.
I'm just inting on stream.
Yeah, I mean, I'm maybe a bad coach for telling you to just FF this. Maybe you could have actually won. Like, I didn't expect him to play it this bad, but I just wanted to, like,
Their
value
team is
your time,
around.
of course.
Ah, they burst me so fast.
Yeah. It's like the Amumu is not even there, and they're just... They don't want to end the game. Okay, I think now they finally will.
I actually hope that they end fast.
Yeah, I think they will end now. And just don't even def.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I guess let's look at this game really quick. There were some mistakes, I guess, in the early, mostly decision making wise, I would say. Time to light a cigarette, right? The classic. Okay, so not showing up.
I don't really think that we need to look at this exactly game.
But yeah, but let's look at some things, right? There were some mistakes. I mean, I said, for example, the flash in the early and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's not gonna take a long time, right? We can just look at it really quick. Yeah, I started sharing my screen. Well, this guy even was named Kale. Like, he was literally a Kale main, and he didn't manage to not, like, disconnect before 5 minutes after losing the lane a little bit. What a fucking loser, holy shit. Okay. I mean, I don't even know if this ward is worth, you know? It's like, it's definitely a bit risky, especially into Shen. I don't think you really die here, but still. This ward doesn't give you a lot of good information, in my opinion.
It's free most of the times.
It is, right? But, yeah, I don't know. It's not always gonna be free. Just be sure to not always do it, right? And in some champs, I don't know, imagine if it's an Olaf or something, you definitely can't do that.
Yeah, I'm only doing it because it's on a Mumu.
Yeah.
He cannot really harm me.
He dies 1v1 as well. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I cannot help him.
no, you can't. It's not your fault at all. It's just this guy
I
being an
wasn't
idiot.
even looking with because I don't care.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I
yeah,
know
yeah.
that I cannot do shit.
Yeah, that's
Level
right. You can't. I mean, here's definitely where you need to start looking, but right, you were kind of looking, but here you were just looking F keys, and you just saw this, right? This, but you don't need to see this. You need to see this. You need to see if the jinx is low or something. That's kind of like, it's a good habit in general with the F keys. I know that LS or whatever, he always tells people to use it, but I think if you're not getting the important information, which is usually the enemy HP, then it's not even that good to do it. Right, I would rather just see that she's full HP, and then you can make the decision. Yeah, you probably don't gank this because, well, oh, she actually warded here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't even realize the way she played.
I also don't usually use W on the Crux.
Yeah. So you can gank, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if I use it, I cannot be active on bot lane.
The thing is here, right, like, definitely a good timing to look mid, generally, but of course it's a fucking Kayle, right? I hate playing with Kayle. It's so, especially when it's mid, of course, where it's like a really important lane, it's so unbearable as a jungle. She just loses you the game as a jungler oftentimes, especially when you're in a carry jungle like Ekko, it's so fucking bad, so you can't really gank here because it's just no champ versus a decently good early champ, so yeah, unlucky. So you're kind of forced to gank bot here, of course. But she's overextended. She's overextended, right? It's just, does your Swain not have E? No, he doesn't. Here, as I said, I don't think it's worth trading flash for flash here. It really isn't. Because, like, you really need the flash to maybe get kills. And if you just trade flash for flash, it's not really worth. It just isn't. Right? You need it. You need to have it available for when maybe someone is able to escape low. Like, value it more for sure. Like, if you find yourself flashing like that often, then definitely you need to start valuing it more. Yeah, and then
I'm doing it because I will pot bot lane again.
okay, but then you're still gonna have a harder time killing them the next time around. I mean, of course, she also doesn't have flash, but I'm personally just not a fan. Of course, here you're right. You should have known that they will cancel you if they have vision here, and they very clearly had vision here because she W'd. So this was definitely an unnecessary waste of time. And then here you said you can't help them, but you should know that you actually can help them. Right? If they're pathing into your W and whatever, you can always help. Even if you're, of course, you're weaker than the Mumu. He already has like a bit of HP, a bit of AP, but like with this W, if you stun him, then that's completely fine. And the big mistake, of course, is like you didn't really play around the Swainy. You missed your Q because of that. And that's why it took you a little bit too long to proc the passive. And also, yeah, I think you should realize faster that you just need to run here. But if you proc the passive right away and run, you definitely live here. Right? Like, that was for sure a bit of a mistake.
True.
Yeah. But even now, I think you could still run. You just kind of ran here, you know, because you thought maybe you could play this. Maybe you didn't see the rumble.
Yeah, I did.
But we also kind of had information. I think that I think we actually had full information that he was running down here. So you just didn't really look at the minimap well enough, I guess. But yeah, I think I saw it in game as well that he was running down. So at this point, just getting the kill and then running, it would have been fine, right? I think it would have been a 1-for-1. Yeah. So now 1-for-1 in a situation like this where there's four people committing to this would be really good, honestly. Let's see if you could maybe do something top here. Probably not really. Like, he's standing so far back, he's very healthy.
Most of the times I don't really do anything top lane.
I think that's the wrong mindset to have. If there's free kills top lane, take them, right? I think a lot of mistakes.
If the enemy top is overextended.
Yeah, then of course, right. Yeah, I also didn't usually force a lot there, but and especially because you have good gank setup there, right? Volibear is decent gank. It's just point to click CC. You can layer a lot of CC with your W and whatever. It's a good lane to gank in general. Of course, Shen is not the easiest to gank, but still. I don't think don't think of it as ganking top, like as ganking the less important lane. Just see it as a lane where you can get kills for yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Just of course we talked about this in raid as well.
Yeah, and
but
here
you said you're a little bit
I just think
tilted.
Mumu was top side. I have to take something, you know.
But yeah, but you shouldn't expect this to be up. Don't randomly expect this to be up. Just go for these kind of invades when you actually have info. And usually, I never go for wolves invades early. The only camp I invade a lot is like the raptors, because they're much easier to check. You know, for the raptors, when you're here, you just walk up until here. You see if one is up, and for the wolves, you need to walk completely up until here. And especially if you're spotted and then the mid can move, you're just dead. You know, or you're in a very difficult situation at least. And of course, this Drake is also.
Yeah, this is big time trolling.
Yeah, this is just tilt, I guess.
At this point, KO disconnected.
Yeah, I think we actually don't need to watch much more. Of course, there were some mistakes, but at this point, you're not really fully focused on winning anymore. So let's just not waste any more time with this game and look at this one. I think it was with the Nyla. Yeah, just see if there were situations where you could have won.
That's it. That's
yeah.
the game.
Damn, she got 1 kill. I didn't even realize it was such a short game as well. Okay. Let's see if there were opportunities to win this game. I mean, Graves mid also pretty trash, I think. At the moment, at least. In general, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, definitely a rough game for you, mostly. Because your solo laners are not easy to gank, right? They have basically no gank setup.
True.
Bot lane at least has the Nautilus, but... yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Okay.
I don't actually remember what happened, but yeah, there we pick 1 kill.
Okay, I think the big mistake is honestly just that you go for this kind of stuff when you're only 3 people and not all 5. I think if all 5 of you are here, you maybe even get something, but
yeah, I don't like early invading.
Yeah, me neither. I generally don't do it, but you even get the kill here, okay. I think with good scaling champs like Ekko, there's no reason to do it, usually.
Exactly.
There really isn't.
Sometimes I stun 4 people and it's good, but most of the times it's...
Yeah. Like for me, especially because I start Q, of course, all my games, because I do the Raptors path. It's even less want to do it.
I start bot side and path towards the GP, which is horrible because...
yeah.
we can never kill Aatrox.
Yeah. That's I think couldn't you have ran to the blue? I feel like you could have just ran there. Like after the invade. Just run there now. I think you maybe
No time, no time.
no, you have. If you run there now, you have 25 seconds. You for sure. Like even if you started like 2 seconds later, it's still good. Like just for having the pathing in the right direction, it definitely makes a lot of difference, right?
Also, I play a bit of GP, and when I play GP, I don't leash like never, and I understand the guy because he wants to have prio top.
Yeah, definitely make sure here. I mean, I don't know if you always do this, but definitely make sure to already run in this direction, right? When the small ones are here, just run up. They will run like run after you in a straight line, and
Yeah, I'm just
definitely sit.
autopiloting. I
Okay.
think.
I mean, just okay, but then
I know.
that's like a bad thing to do, right? Just don't autopilot as much then, because it also loses your games just being less efficient, that kind of stuff. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe this was like your 8th game of the day or whatever. Of course, you don't play at your full capacity
I
all the time,
think
but
here in this game I have like 7 win streak, and my focus is a bit off.
oh, okay, you do the blue after, okay.
Yeah, because the camps are respawning in better order.
Yeah, I don't know. I also think that way. Also now you have the blue, of course, for like playing longer, right? But I don't know. Pros still don't do it like that. I don't know why. There must be a reason. Maybe they just want the blue to respawn faster as well or something. I don't know.
Also, the reason I'm patting downside is
What the
Ekko is
fuck?
very weak in contesting scuttle crabs, and
I wouldn't say so. I think he's fine, especially against like a shit early champ like Shyvana. I think you even have the advantage. I don't know what this guy did, by the way. He flash E'd on he flash smited for like the early crabs, they only give 20% of the XP and gold. Or
yeah.
like the gold at least, right? Or no, the XP. Yeah, the gold is normal, I think, but like the XP is so much less, so if you have to give them, then it's completely fine most of the time. It doesn't really make a huge difference. And let's see if you could have done more here, actually. I think one big thing you could have done for sure here is walk into the brush first before using W, you know? So you're out of vision.
Yeah, so she doesn't see me.
Yeah. That would have, and also, I mean, nobody can expect that she's actually gonna flash smite here for that, but
What the fuck?
yeah, I mean, she died for it as well, so it was not worth it all. But still, like, maybe place it a little bit more here, right? Because she's still gonna run into you more than this, probably. But yeah, of course. I mean, she also kind of had to flash.
If she don't flash, I kill her actually.
Yeah, probably because she's not in the because she's in the W. Yeah, I think it's good that you hold your E here as well. Generally, I would say. Okay. Yeah, it's also nice that you help shove in mid, so he can base with low HP, no mana. You get double, or no, you didn't get the other crap, but how much gold do you have? Okay. So you got like a Dark Seal, and you should get a Blasting Wand, and not the thing, but you probably get the Alternator, right?
Yeah.
I think you shouldn't bite, because the 150 health is just wasted in the jungle, you know? You don't need...
Yeah, but the passive is nice.
The passive is nice, but it's only for ganking, and you need to... And, like, the jungle clear will be faster with the AP, with the extra AP, I'm pretty sure. So, I definitely know that last season it was 100% worse to buy this item. Now I'm not sure, because the jungle pet deals quite a little bit of base damage, right? So maybe the AP scaling is not that worth, but I still think, like, going for Blasting Wand is usually better. Like, the health is just completely wasted stats. Or where, do you have a disconnect here, or what?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
This is definitely a situation where you should look for a bot gank 100%. Or like a lane gank. Even now, I think even now you can still look. I don't know if maybe in-game you weren't looking enough at the lane, but if she's this low...
I'm looking, but if Fiddlesticks fears me, and...
Yes, okay, Fiddle makes it annoying for sure because he has point-to-click CC, but... Wait, but how does it work again? How does it work though? He can't fear you always, right? He can only, or yes.
He can fear me.
He can always. Oh yeah. While unseen. No, okay, with the active he always fears, I guess.
He can fear me 2 times. If I don't see him and he
Oh
hit
yeah, okay.
E, I think I'm feared, and
I understand.
he
Of
can just
course,
fear me with Q.
but especially with this big of a shutdown, you should definitely look further. Okay, let's see what you do. I mean, yeah, okay, you probably can't kill her. She's playing too passive. No fiddle
Yeah,
is
but I
here.
I am going for some bullshit here.
Okay, Shyvana's also here.
Yeah. Also, I don't see where Shivana is, and I'm
Yeah,
going for the Krug camps.
I mean, yeah, but you should have seen, right? You had vision. Like you saw her walking here.
No,
If
I mean
you,
not right now, not right now, but before that, when my bot died.
oh yeah. But what do you mean with that? You don't see that? That's why you didn't go bot, or what were you saying?
Uh, Before I go for the Krug camp, I don't know where Shivana is.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, she's not gonna be bot, right? If they just kill them. Not really. Like, she's not gonna be close, of course. Or what argument are you trying to make? I'm not sure.
Mm, Shivana players they often go for early dragons,
Mm,
especially if bot
yeah.
lane just just fought.
Yeah. But were you just randomly saying that, or were you making an argument about something?
No, no, that's the reason why I don't go for the Neo there.
Okay, but like the Shyvana, let's say she's. I mean, she's not a Drake, but let's say she is a Drake. Even then, you're looking to just one shot her, right?
Yeah.
Her W is actually still on cooldown as well. It's such a long cooldown. So like if you have the awareness and you could just flash on her here, especially if the Fiddlesticks leaves her. Of course, he's right next to her. He can just point to click CCU, but like technically, I think here is a probably not. She's walking away too fast, but especially with the 300 gold shutdown, it's definitely worth to flash for her, right? Here I think it's good. Like the first thing you should do is definitely Q before W, in my opinion. But it's a small thing. I think it's definitely good that you hold your E, for sure. Right, that's very important. Okay, so
I'm trying to execute them with this spell.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
using
that's
it
good.
randomly because it's early game. It's my only escape tool. If that's
Yeah, no, it's good. As I said, I think the way you're using it is good as well. I think you should have definitely done the Drake here. I don't know why you're not doing Drake. Your bot lane had to help you, I guess. Okay, wait, let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Like, definitely do the Drake here 100%. I don't know. You got 2 picks. Only the Nyla is gonna come. What's she gonna do? And I think your Graves. I don't know. Was he low? He could have helped as well. I don't know. That was so bad. Like macro wise.
okay.
This is such a good Drake as well, right? It's the second best at least, probably. Maybe it's like top 3, of course, like with Infernal and Mountain Soul or Mountain Drake. They're the best ones. If you can take them, for sure take them. And you're strong enough. As soon as you have more items than like a Dark Seal, then you can easily do Drakes. Like objectives are way too easy to take at the moment, especially for how valuable they are.
Okay.
I don't know if this is like a good thing to do here. It's honestly a little bit risky. I mean, okay, it's good. Like she used her E, so she can't stun you. She doesn't have huge kill pressure, but you also don't really get anything out of this. I mean, you get her ult, but she didn't have any reason to really ult you here. It's like very small win for you. Now they know you're here for sure. They know you're low HP as well. They got a lot of information, and you shouldn't really even have gotten her ult out, right? Like if she knows that she has a bit better awareness, she knows that she doesn't kill you there, so she won't even waste it, and then you just
I
wasted your time.
I think she panicked.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe she also thought she would kill you because she didn't account for your W shield, but... Yeah, okay, I guess here you're looking mid, kind of, the way you're moving.
Yeah, I'm pinging.
Okay. Yeah, I think just take the... it's of course unlucky that the top
I
prio
think
is
I'm
also not
dying
there.
here actually.
Okay. Yeah, at this point you just need to cut your losses, right? Like, just accept that you're gonna lose this. Yeah, like, these kind of deaths are really bad if you die here, actually. Just
No,
the whole time you should have...
I live.
You should have just done the Grump the whole time. Okay, wow.
What the fuck?
No, but like the Grump is especially, like, it's up the whole time. You probably can't even do anything bot here with this low HP, and you're not even level 6. Okay, you get level 6 from the red, I guess, but... Yeah, this like letting the Grump sit there is there's no reason to do it really, and you wasted a lot of time here as well. Okay, you don't have sweeper up, right? Okay, that's good that you're not going in the third brush. But I don't know if you can even kill.
I think we are dying here.
Yeah, she's very fat, of course. She doesn't have mythic, so it's a good time to look for a kill, but
Yeah, we
yeah.
die because I don't expect the Shyvana.
I mean, it was close. How much gold do you have? You have quite a lot of gold as well, right? I think the biggest mistake here is that it's like it really leads up to this, right? Everything leads up to this, and it started here. It started when you were wasting your time here. What you should have just done is like do Grump. Okay, you don't really have enough gold to recall after that, to be honest. It's just a very unfortunate situation overall, I would say. But still, do the Grump, then maybe recall. At least you get the blasting one, and then go bot side. It's just overall this situation sucks a little bit. Everything was very messy with the Grace, but I mean the Grace is very strong, honestly. But of course, I guess after that the game was kind of over, right? Then Nyla was super snowballed.
I remember Graves went AFK.
Really? Why
Yeah.
that? What? Like randomly or rage quitting?
Randomly, yeah, randomly.
So it was
I think he
unfortunate.
disconnected.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's super unfortunate then.
You should name the video AFK mid lane coaching.
Yeah. Unironically.
Yeah, I just died there.
Hmm.
Shyvana flashes.
Could you have lived? Let's see. Probably not if she flashes. I mean,
She
okay.
I flashed, she flashed.
Maybe you could have eat like her E, you know? I think because your E was up, right? And you need to. That's the only thing you really need to expect here, or you can expect is of course that she's gonna E at some point. So maybe if you E like up a bit, then you might dodge the hitbox. But of course, it's like a very big hitbox and hard to
It's
dodge.
huge, yeah.
So yeah, I think definitely go to your Grump here. Like at this point, you really need to just try to shut her down at some point, right? And you have tools for it. You have Varus ult, you have Nautilus ult. If she ever overextends, and especially if she stays on the map without spending her gold, she's not that strong, right? Not as strong as she has to be, or as she could be, I guess. So the only way to really win this game now is to really focus on getting that shutdown at some point. So especially because of that, you should just path down.
Now I pressed up, and I think I clear up wards, and maybe if we kill Aatrox, we have a win condition in GP. That's what I'm thinking. I think that that was in my mind.
Okay, but I mean in my opinion, collecting shutdowns is a much bigger win condition than getting like 300 gold kill, you know?
Yeah, true.
And of course also your top set is up.
I have no idea what I'm doing here.
You can still do a lot of stuff. It's not like you're super behind. I mean, you are quite behind, but it's not unwinnable. Like in solo queue, 3k gold, that doesn't mean everything, especially if it's like mostly on one member. See, you still get kills. You're definitely enabled here as well, right? Of course, she's still 2k gold ahead of you, which is insane, but... also, okay, are you looking... Yeah, that's good. Yeah. You're looking to invade as well. Get everything. Okay, like this Nautilus is definitely baiting you.
Nautilus is baiting me.
Yeah, that's so bad. That's so bad because your whole jungle is up. This is where you really get ahead, when you clear your own jungle as well, and not when you stay here and like flip for a kill. Like that's definitely a huge mistake. I mean, it wasn't your call, but it was a mistake to follow this call anyways.
Yeah, I know. I realized it in game, but it was too late anyway.
Do you kill her though? Oh no.
We die.
It was close though. I mean, you're also missing a lot of gold.
We die because she will... Yeah.
Little bit of misplaced. Let's see if you could have maybe killed the... I mean, of course he should just hit his hook here and then you kill her as well, I'm pretty sure. kind of lucky that you lived there. Yeah, I think at this point just run, right? Don't stay there. Yeah, that Q hit killed you. No, but the whole time, if you would have just cleared here, and especially also because I'm saying, right, just you need to focus this Nyla and just shut her down at some point. Definitely a bit of a pathing mistake in my opinion. You got some kills here, so it kind of worked out, but still, I think your focus is just wrong for actually winning this game at this point. But of course, if you're saying the Graves also went AFK, that for sure also played a part.
Sometime in the game he went AFK. Maybe no.
Yeah, I don't know. Like at this point, I think you also need to probably give up the Herald. Which the Shyvana is quite weak. Okay, where's GP not helping you? He has ult, right? What? Okay, I mean, you can do so much here. I don't know why this GP is not moving.
Yeah, Syndra is zoning me.
Yeah, but like Syndra... Ekko is probably one of the biggest Syndra counters in the game. So good against her. This GP just has to move. I don't know. It was quite bad by your team. Maybe you just needed to ping more right here. Maybe you also thought you couldn't fight it, but you can definitely fight it, especially after you chunk her down so much. She's like half HP. Syndra flashes in to just stun you and not even chunk you that much, right? You're still so healthy here. And Nautilus is moving from the bot. Of course, you don't have vision. You don't really know if anyone else is coming, but with how low she is, you definitely need to know that you can fight. And that's the point where you really need to start spam pinging for help. So this GP moves. Like this is tilting me to watch that he's not even moving. I don't know. You have the numbers advantage here with the Nautilus. And you also have ult as well almost, so you can definitely play here. As soon as her E is on cooldown, she's so vulnerable, you know?
It hurts me so much when I watch my gameplay, by the way.
Yeah. In what way?
You know, most of the times I enter gold mode. And when I'm watching the games that I'm losing, it's just...
Yeah.
doesn't feel natural at all.
You're killing me, right?
Yeah.
No, but I like the way you're using your abilities generally. I think it's good. It's like very controlled. You're definitely thinking about the way you're using your abilities. You're not throwing them out and that kind of stuff. It makes a lot of sense. I think generally I would usually do almost always the same. I think sometimes what's shown here is that you're maybe missing confidence to go for certain plays or whatever, or you think you can't fight in some situations, but overall, like for reasons that you're not climbing, it must be mental, a lot of it. Okay, I mean this flash was definitely bad, right?
Yeah, I know.
No reason, especially I mean for a support, and then you don't even get the return Q, but you don't need it.
I kill him here.
Yeah, for sure you kill him, but you don't need to flash. And the way you flashed, of course, it didn't even accomplish what you wanted to accomplish with it, right? You wanted to hit the return Q, but you didn't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
And this guy doesn't realize he's on vision. I guess you kind of wait for your E.
I'm trying to bait him.
Yeah, and that's the reason why Ekko is so good against Syndra, right? Because of this interaction where you stay on her even though she E's you. Yeah, that's good that the way you're moving here as well. I mean, I would have placed it. You can place the W from here until here, you know. Maybe you didn't know. Like from behind this wall, you could have placed a W in here. Would have made you a bit safer, of course.
Yeah,
but
I know.
It didn't make a difference, of course.
I
Here,
don't think...
definitely. I don't know if you can kill her. Oh, she doesn't even have the 7 gold shutdown anymore.
I think I do.
Yeah, you do actually. Okay. Yeah, that's also fine. That the way you played that, so she can't auto attack you or anything. It's good. Okay, so how do you like? See now you actually ahead in gold a little bit. Kind of came back. So where does it go wrong? Because they end in 10 minutes.
At some point of the game, she just became unkillable because I do like 2 rotations of my spells.
It's also really good that you know this engage angle.
It's my favorite angle.
Yeah, it works every time against if you're strong enough. It's so good.
Every single time, they just
Yeah.
don't know about it.
Yeah. It legit still works in Master, by the way. It's so crazy.
It works bot lane, it works
Here, right here, you
like,
can also
yeah.
do it.
Here it works mid lane from the Raptor,
Mhm.
so
And then the Grave
it
Sleeves.
works top lane like where GP is at the moment, where Fiddlesticks is at the moment.
I thought he actually really left. Maybe. I guess you just die at some point and then it's over, or what? I mean, a lot of the gold is on you at this point, for sure. It's one of those games where you really need to... For example, here it probably hurt you. I mean, I'm gonna predict that it hurt you that you flashed for no reason when the Fiddlesticks, maybe. Like, maybe your flash could have saved you. So these are like the small things that add up. Okay, I mean, she's definitely dying still at this point, right? Okay, I don't think the rocket belt was good usage here. Okay, and then you overcommit. Yeah, as I said, I think the rocket belt definitely a bit of a mistake. Okay, also you use your E auto attack in the when she was invincible, of course. I think it's way too hard to see, I'm gonna be real. Like they need to make that more visible or something. So especially when she's in the brush. And
Yeah,
of course, yeah, like
miss all my spells here.
yeah, that's basically it. Let's be real. And she has a lot of life steal. Yeah, it's that's like these are like the really game deciding moments oftentimes. And of course, I guess your Graves is AFK also at the moment, so. And especially in these kind of situations, I don't know if he came back, but I mean, I think he disconnected and came back once, so maybe he was just having problems.
Came back, but
yeah, but in these situations, you really just need to not force then, right? Like, that's also a mistake, the fact that you're forcing so hard here. I think this trade was good, just play it slow, right? Like, wait for your Nautilus here, just wait for him. Maybe you didn't see him, okay, he's super low, I didn't see that, but still, it's so... It's just overforced here. There was just a lack of patience. And then they're able to just CC you. Let's see if the game is still winnable at this point though, after that.
Graves came back and he went AFK again.
Oh. I mean, you're not horribly behind. Okay. Yeah, these kind of games, they suck, honestly. I hate it as well. And now you're just gonna get perma-invaded and slowly you're gonna start falling behind. The fucking 1-6 Shyvana has a 150 gold time, what?
Yeah, I'm losing to those type of guys.
Yeah. But you're not losing to them regularly, you know? Like, you're winning most of your games. It's so easy to say, of course, but the big thing to do is just not let that tilt you so much. And you even get the killer, I mean... How do they end so quickly now? I'm actually confused. Feels like this game is so even still. I think actually Mercs would have made this game so much more playable also.
Maybe.
Like these point-to-click CCs, they seem to tilt you while watching, and then in game I'm sure they tilted you even more. Also, I think this actually also I think this is really a Nashor's game. This is definitely a Nashor's game. I mean, it's not that good against Nyla, but mostly because she, of course, can block a bunch of auto attacks. But at the same time, you will need it.
Yeah,
you will just need it against this kind of healing.
That's the reason I go. That's the reason I go Leech.
Oh,
Because
that was kind of
I
troll.
I think, okay, I don't want to auto attack Naiva that much.
Yeah, that's the general reasoning you should think about, but I think in this game you auto attack all of them, right? You definitely auto attack Aatrox a lot, I think, because he's a champ. Like if you stay close to him, it's very easy to dodge his abilities. Oftentimes, his Qs. Then Shyvana, you will auto attack quite a lot because she's just gonna jump onto you. Syndra, you can auto attack a lot because she's a mage, and if you're onto her, like you can auto attack her for free a lot of the times. And then Fiddlesticks, see like these situations where he's just healing up. If you had more attack speed, just auto attack him down. Like, you do so many auto attacks this game.
By the way, I was going Nashor's Tooth every single game,
Mm.
and then I watched your video, and yeah.
And yeah, it's good that
You
you think about it.
explained,
Yeah, you can buy both for sure, for sure. I'm just saying, I think in this game, Nashus maybe could have helped you make the difference, you know, in some situations. And here you definitely grieve a bit, you know, with your rocket belt because you missed your return Q. She would have died right away, I think.
yeah.
See, like that engage was good, and then now you rocket belt behind her, and that's why you miss your return Q. Yeah, she would have been dead. I mean, do you still kill her? Yeah, but you would have been full HP, I guess. Does that even make a difference, though? Probably not. I'm just saying, right? Of course, it was still a mistake. Okay. Yeah, that's of
And
course.
and
Yeah,
then I
here.
drove.
And she just pops off. Yeah, I mean, that definitely made a difference, right? That you were so low here. I
Yeah,
think if you were a little bit, if you were like full HP here, then you would have probably lived here.
skill issue.
Did you have Q? Hmm. I think you definitely need to cure here, right? Like just Q behind, and then you can probably flash out at least. You need to. It's definitely worth flashing out here, right? Even if you lose the Drake, you have a 300 gold shot, and you're definitely valuable here. So don't be like afraid to use your flash here for sure. And if you Q her, I think she auto attacks you one last time, and then you're able to flash out. Now I think, yeah, now you can't really flash, but if you just react a little bit faster and Q her, then you should live here. I'm pretty sure. But it's a very close game. This Nyla was obviously giga strong, but so were you. You know, like you're also much stronger than anyone else. You have like twice the gold of the fucking top laner. Like these top laners are not playing the game, by the way. They're just watching. Basically, I don't even know. Have I seen a single? Like, does this GP play with a minimap? He hasn't ulted anything.
I don't
Very.
think he ulted anywhere.
Yeah, like he ulted once here when you were fighting, but when he was also not moving, like this guy was very AFK, I gotta say.
Top laners, bro.
But still, you're not that far behind. Still, like it's still so winnable, and it's all on the Nyla as well. You know that's like games where everything is on one champ are usually very winnable because all you need to do is shut them down and they need to perform, of course, which apparently she did, of course, but still. Oh, she's super low here. Well, she's not that low because she's healing so much.
I cannot reach her.
Did she kill you here?
No, but
Okay. Let's see if you. Yeah, well, let's see. I
he
think you
doesn't
misplayed a
know
little
though.
bit. I think you should just wait for your E here again, by the way. I think you could have just chased her. You didn't need to flash. That was very impatient. See, like now, she used her E, and now she has no more minions to dash to. Like, now she has nowhere to dash. So you just wait for your E cooldown to come up again in 2 seconds, and you will catch her. And then also you're just way more, right? Like, then you're not so trapped. I think that was the biggest mistake. I'm pretty sure you could have just killed her. I'm more than sure you could have definitely just killed her. Just like keep chasing here, and she has nowhere to dash, and she's on 1 HP. And then you can also just your Q will also be up, and then her W doesn't matter, right? You just kill her before she can even auto attack you. Yeah, that was like the biggest mistake, I guess. Again, here was patience and a little bit awareness as well. Hmm. See, like in this fight, I think with Anashus you probably kill him. There were so many auto attacks you could have done, but you just didn't have the attack speed to do it. I think with Nashus you just kill him here for sure. You're especially with how strong you are. I mean, he has Hex Shrinker, but still, like with Nashus, first of all, you have a little bit more AP than with Lichbane, and then also you just have the attack speed.
I lose here because Fido will fear me.
But yeah, I think you kill the Aatrox before they're unstunned. I'm pretty sure. Or at least yeah, the ult was also of course not great because you used it at like full HP almost, or like actual full HP. I mean, it happens, right? You miss abilities, it just happens.
Yeah.
But it definitely made a difference here.
If there is one spell that I misplay on Ekko sometimes, it's Dude Mate.
Yeah, okay. I mean, definitely I can't really give you great tips on how to use it. Of course, you just need to use it at the right time.
Yeah.
I would say this season is the first one where I actually started managing to have good aggressive ults oftentimes, though. Yeah, this Nyla is just disgustingly fat at this point, of course. Basically full build.
My team is fat and she's ulting me, by the way.
Yeah.
At this point, she's just running down all of us.
Yeah. You really, I mean, the only way to really play this is just fully playing with your teammates' abilities, right? Like the Nautilus ult and that kind of stuff. But yeah, like sometimes you just need to accept losses, honestly. It is what it is. I mean, there were opportunities to win this game, but you honestly still played pretty well overall, I would say. Of course, we talked about there were certain mistakes, but if they would have made the game, they definitely still, the game was still difficult no matter what, is what I'm trying to say. I mean, just, if your team is hardcore underperforming, it is what it is. Just make sure that these kind of games don't tilt you for like the next couple of games and you start running it down. You know, that's how you really lose elo for absolutely no reason. But I don't think that's what happened here. I just still played normally the games afterwards. It's just... if you say, right, you said that's a problem for you sometimes, but it didn't seem to be a problem recently. There's no huge loss streaks, right? Like, 3-game losing streaks happen. If it's longer than that, then it's usually just bad mental, but... I guess this game could also be interesting. I mean, we still have about half an hour. If you want, we can look at one more game really quick, if you, like...
Yeah.
If you like it, we can just, like, go through it a little bit faster, maybe. If it's in the match history, at least. I don't think it is. Maybe this one as well. Let's see. Maybe I want to see one where you kind of performed bad. Maybe. I mean, this is also not horrible, but it's definitely one of the weaker ones.
Not this one. Not this one.
Why?
It's horrible.
Okay, let's look at it then. Where would you say your mistakes were in this game? Like in the early or?
I don't exactly remember, but the moment I see I have 19 assists, I just know that.
Yeah, I hate those games as well. When you just get assists, sometimes you just don't get the last assist, and then you can't play the game because you're not fat enough or you don't snowball hard enough.
I don't get the gold that I need.
Yeah, I know.
To do damage.
It's actually, I mean, it's really crazy that you're telling me that you feel hard stuck in platinum. Is it like the first season, because your MMR is not that good, right? You said, and it actually isn't. I think you only get like plus 19 and minus 27.
I get plus 18, plus 90, and then I lose 30 points.
Is it like the first season where you climbed? No, right? Like last season you were also platinum 2. Why is it like that then? Actually confused.
Also not my first account. I'm hard stuck platinum for like 5 years.
Really?
Like
has to be mental. I'm gonna be real.
My peak is Diamond 3 in the preseason, actually. In this preseason. But as I told you when the season started.
Yeah. Honestly, like the way like your decision making, even when using abilities, is usually very similar to mine, right? Like maybe you miss some more abilities than me or whatever, but not even by a substantial amount. It's really, I think at least diamond should, like, especially low diamond is so bad, honestly. It should be easily in your reach. So it has to be mental.
Honestly, I feel like Diamond 4 is easier than Platinum 1.
I actually know what you mean, you know? I think like 2 seasons ago, or like even, yeah, if you have hard stack MMR is so fucking bad. I on my, unironically on like my oldest account, which has like Platinum MMR, where I just don't really play on it, I mostly play Flex on it nowadays. I was, even last season when I was Master, I was struggling to climb to Diamond on that account, because it's just like the game quality is so weird, and people for some reason in Platinum they have an ego, you know, like sometimes you just lose games because people ego, and I was actually struggling. I kind of know what you mean, but still, of course, you should be able to overcome it if you just play consistently enough. Maybe the mid-season reset will be really good for your account, MMR wise. Okay, that's good. And it's actually crazy that you get like these free ganks. You know, like this kind of timing people should be aware of when you're in this elo already. I feel like the 3:30 timing is so normal. That's why I like the Raptors path, by the way, right? It has different timings. But like usually these kind of ganks they just shouldn't work, but I guess it just does work for you.
I think we actually die afterwards because Mastery came.
I mean, this Morgana was also trolling so hard, just walking up here, support players, I guess. I definitely. Okay, I think you.
Yeah, I overforce here.
Yeah, definitely overforce, and I think all you should do is just help your laner shove the wave. They're so low, and he's full HP. You're never gonna kill a full HP target, especially if he has flash up. So it's just a waste of time. You should just know it, honestly. Of course, and also you miss your Q. I think if you hit your Q, he maybe actually. He definitely needs to flash if you hit your Q.
He is disrespecting me, and
yeah. But like, yeah, if you hit your Q here, then you definitely force this flash because he slowed quite a bit, you know. So that definitely made a difference. I guess that's something that happened quite a bit in your games, right? Where you just miss abilities. Maybe because generally when I look at the way you're using your abilities, it's as I said, it's mostly the same that I would also do it. So decision making wise, you're pretty good. But maybe you just need to get more consistent in some situations with hitting your abilities. Maybe just play a little bit slower and more controlled. And make sure you actually hit those kind of cues and whatever. It really does make a difference, of course. If you feel like you're missing abilities too often and maybe dying because of it. But of course, we just watched like a couple of games here. I don't know if that usually happens to you as well.
And we are watching my bad games.
Yeah. I mean, you won so many games recently. I think really just keep playing. Maybe don't play too many games in a day. If you feel like you get fatigued and you start playing worse. Yeah, like even here, this is so good actually that you don't clear this camp because you're already level 5, so you don't have a huge reason to clear it right now. And you see something happening mid, it's very good that you move for it. Generally, I would say.
And he lives.
Let's see if we could have killed him. I probably couldn't have killed him here, but let's see. I mean, definitely use your W. I think that's a big mistake.
He has little tempo stack.
Yeah, I think the big mistake here is not using W, honestly. You know, the biggest reason is not even that you stun here, but if you have your shield, then you can chase him, you know, even with the Yi being there. That's like the big difference.
Sometimes I don't use it because...
But if you fight, you always use it.
Make it.
Maybe that's also something that you need to work on then. I mean, it didn't really seem like it in these games, but... just use it here.
EW animation cancel.
It doesn't even matter here, just use it. Just using it right, like, just using it overall is so important here. It would have made a huge difference. Just use it here. You probably even stun him the way he's playing. Like, he's also... The way you gotta think about it, like, if he's focusing here, like, imagine you're him. Like, you're probably not even really realizing the Ekko's casting a W on you. Like, you're quite focused in these kind of fights usually, so... Just when you're here, cast it somewhere around here. The Kiana also, of course, she performed quite well, so I imagine she also has a bit of a brain. She probably will move towards your W. And it would have made a difference for sure, because he's so low. First of all, you probably stun him even, and even if not, then you can at least chase, as I said, right? You're not super squishy, the Yi won't be able to kill you right away if you have a shield. Maybe you could have even chased here, but probably not. Like, that would have probably killed you. So yeah, the W was just missing. And generally, if you feel like you're not using it in every fight, I think that's a mistake. You should really use it in every fight. Also, I definitely would start clearing. Either start clearing from the wolves or just go straight bot here. I don't think you should do the raptors. It's just gonna fuck up your pathing a bit. Okay, I think definitely auto attack one more time here. That was a big mistake. Oh, you get him, yeah. Okay, but still, definitely there was easily one more auto attack in here. So just so you can proc passive, right? Like now, or like I think you could have even proc passive just with auto attacks.
Yeah, I was trying to dodge the tornado.
Yeah, but still, like, even one more auto because he couldn't have tornadoed you right away. You know. Let's look at him. Because his Q has a cooldown, you know? So now he still has to wait for one more second, and that time you could have autoed. It's definitely... well, you still get him, but it would have been better still.
The only reason I go for that play is I saw Kiana was coming. So.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, but looking kind of free. Especially with Kiana, of course. Again, you're not using W, you know? That's definitely quite bad this game. I didn't notice it the last few games, maybe you were better. Maybe you're just having like a bad game with that, but okay, you didn't have it up, okay. I guess that explains it, but still, like, now use it, of course, right away, like somewhere in the path. Do you do that maybe?
Again, I think I have a win streak and I'm out of piloting again.
Okay. I mean, just definitely something you need to fix then if you want to climb.
Yeah.
Autopiloting is really bad, you know, there's just, I mean, there's no reason, it's just laziness. Yeah, I think at this point you probably can't play this, like you don't have Kiana ult, or can you? It's close. I mean, wait. Did you not proc your W, or did you die through the W shield?
I died to the Master EQ.
Yeah, you didn't proc the W. Maybe going in there like half a second later probably would have helped you live. But like I died to these kind of stuff also. Sometimes it just happens. Yeah, like this is very close. Of course, if you proc the W, then you can easily ult, and then you
like
probably kill the
It's
Ziggs.
like half a second.
Yeah, like okay, I didn't press tab here, but I think you definitely should have also tried to target the Ziggs a bit more. I mean, in this situation, it's difficult, of course. He's the main focus, but this guy is just... He has a 500 gold shotgun, you know? Getting that is gonna make the game so easy for you.
Yeah.
He definitely should be your priority, and even if you die for it, it's so worth.
I still shut him down at some point.
Okay. What's happening here? You want to get the crab, I guess. Oh, you think it's in here? Okay. No, you don't have E. That's a little bit unfortunate, of course. Yorick Cage, such an annoying ability to auto attack. I hate it. I don't think I don't know where. Okay, the Mordekaiser ulted him. I didn't see that. I don't think you really had to run so much here. Generally. Did you have info on the E or what?
He took Drake.
Okay, yeah. Right. Okay, that's good. Good awareness to go for the invade here. Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate, of course, with your W that you weren't able to just walk in there. You had to flash. Again, wait, did you have your W up though? Oh no, again, you didn't have it up. Like, honestly, just... Okay, this happened like twice this game. Sometimes just wait, you know? Just wait. Just wait. Ping for your W. Ping 8-second cooldown. You can just wait here. You're not forced. You don't need to run here. And if you could just place it here, right? Like, see. Like, imagine you just wait here. He's still fucked if he's here. You just wait for your W to come up. Again, like, honestly, your biggest weakness, I guess, is really patience. I mean, I see it with a lot of people, but you're very good mechanically, I would say. Your decision making is usually right, like, especially the way you use your mechanics, as I've said. it's really like a lot of the mistakes or things leading up to things going wrong is just missing patience. If you just wait 5 more seconds here for your W to be up and you place it here, then you definitely don't need to flash and you just kill him outside his tower. Yeah, and now you just go on him a little bit too early for no big reason, and then you need to burn your flash, which might make a difference. Who knows?
Yeah.
Like, see, you're not really getting killed. I mean, okay, I guess these are assists, right? But see, imagine you had flash here. I mean, I think you could have caught him even without flash, but
I think he still dies.
oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, you
But
could
I
have
mean, I'm
you
not
could have
sure.
just
I'm
eat
not
more
sure.
over here, right? Like that's very small, of course. You don't really have vision of him. But yeah, also okay, this was like unlucky with the blast plan, but the Q was of course a bit wasted. Yeah, just like eating over here, like I think you eat over here, you could have just eat like this. You can still easily go over that
Yeah,
wall.
yeah, yeah.
You would have just eat him right
But
away.
like here, I don't see him.
Yeah, I know, but still, like just this is like the more it just cuts off a bigger way, you know. He's gonna run in this direction no matter what, or like if he does here, then you get him no matter what. But if he's running like this, which is like his only real escape path, then there's no reason not to go as far as possible to the right.
Sometimes people do weird pathings when you chase
Yeah,
them, and
but if he does if he does something, wow, this guy dealing this good damage then. But if he does something weird, then you will kill him no matter what, right? So it's not really an argument. Okay, I mean this Ziggs is very fucking confident with the 700 gold shutdown walking like this. You don't have the rocket belt yet. Definitely makes, and you don't have any vision of them here. Okay. See, I think it's very good that you actually go base for the rocket belt here. Definitely good decision making, and not clear like the jungle before or something. Because it's so important. That's also where you have good timings for rocket belt completion. I think especially on red side you really should just do like Crocs and then walk up. I don't know. It's like because now you're walking like kind of up here and then down and then up again. It's just a little bit awkward. And you really need to start pulling them in this direction.
yeah, sometimes I when I play versus champs that likes to invade because mastery allows it. I just want to make sure that they don't take my red buff, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay, I guess that does make sense. Yeah. I also do that sometimes. But honestly, like, is he really a champ that invades so much? I feel like he is so bad at invading. You can just, I don't know, run away from him usually. Unless you used all your abilities, he can't do that much against you. It's definitely unfortunate that you have 7 assists here. You could be so strong. Oh.
I don't think well.
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, let's see. Like, what were the big mistakes here?
I misplayed it big
I mean,
time.
yeah, you missed a lot of abilities, of course, and whatever, but decision making wise, the W is fine. I think you're too impatient again, right? That you're walking out here now. Just wait. He's like, there's no reason to get knocked up here and that. Like, the W is just spawning now.
Also, Ezreal is not standing in my W.
Yeah, but there's no reason to leave. Wait, it's Ezreal support. Okay. That's of course also quite bad that you're so AP heavy here for no reason at all. I didn't even see that until now. Like, the Kiana is the only AD champ in your team. It's of course very suboptimal.
Ooh, the Ezreal support.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah. No, but like, I think the biggest mistake here again, just patience. Just wait a little bit more. There's really no reason to get knocked up here, and I think if you don't get knocked up, you just kill him. Also, the rocket belt it gave you like no value, honestly. I think it even went into the wind wall. Like, it really, I don't know how often you use your rocket belt just for damage, but usually you really should get more value than damage out of it, right? Like, either let it help you with gap closing, or let it help you with auto attack resetting, right? So you can proc the passive fast. I mean, you do that sometimes, right? But for example, this rocket belt, the way you're using it here, it doesn't give you any value, honestly.
Most of the times I use it for mobility, honestly.
Yeah, man, that's usually the biggest. I mean, the mobility obviously is like the auto attack reset and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, definitely a bunch of mechanical misses. But for example, this rocket belt here, it just went straight into the wind wall and nothing else. Right, like you didn't even, like the mobility did basically nothing here. You didn't really need to be any closer there. What? Were you tilted or what?
I think I was typing.
Oh, I guess one less reason to type.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, you just wanted to help them faster, I guess.
It's an accident.
Yeah.
I don't flash like this.
No. Imagine you had flash though. Okay, I think you still kill, but oh,
And
you
I
died
die
though.
because I have no ult.
But I guess, I mean, you got a 700 gold shot and you're
But
really
it's worth
enabled.
it's worth anyway because 1k.
Yeah, for sure. And you're like really strong now. I mean, you're basically even with all the other everyone except for Ziggs, but Ekko is kind of good against Ziggs, right? Of course, if he's really strong and he's building Seraphs, then he's a little bit tanky and he's not that easy to kill, but also not that difficult to kill because he's still a mage. Again, I feel like this game is actually another Naturalist game, probably.
I was just thinking about it.
Mostly, not even like, for example, against Yi, I wouldn't even buy it that, because Yi is not a champ you auto attack that much. You know, he's like invincible with his Q or like untargetable, and he has more DPS than you, so you're not really looking to auto attack him that much. But like, Yorick is a champ you can auto attack a lot. Yasuo's is usually a champ you auto attack quite a lot. Because you can also dodge his abilities, right? Like if you dodge his Qs well and whatever, you're allowed to auto attack him. And especially if the Ziggs is fed, you know, just helping. Because you won't be able to one-shot him if he builds this item, you know? He will be too tanky, so you will just need some extra auto attacks. Yeah. Definitely could make a difference. See, like, you're auto attacking him quite a lot. Yeah, but Yi, on the other hand, he's just shredding you down in a second if you stay close to him like this. So this was like the perfect example, basically, of what I said. Right, like, the Yasuo you were able to auto-attack a lot, but when the Yi started fighting you, then you just would have rather run. I think we definitely could have done something mid here, no? Right. I mean,
Ezreal support.
Not with him, but okay, they knew about you as well. I think at this point, definitely also sweep this brush. It's always warded. If the tier 1 tower is down, it's always warded. And you need to know if you're being spotted here. It's so important. I mean, as a jungler in general, it's so important to know if you're being spotted, but especially in this brush. I mean, with the Kiana now moving, you can definitely... Yeah, of course, they're just leaving. Definitely still look to kill this guy, right? He still has a shutdown and he's not the most difficult champ to kill. Oh, what? I was looking at my second screen for 1 second and then you're dead. Oh. Oh, okay. You accidentally clicked on the plant or what?
Maybe.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's unfortunate.
I think I was dead anyway.
I don't know. If you perk your W here, I don't think you are dead right away. I think you live with like very... You know, you stun both of them and you just keep running. I think you actually live probably. Or did you still have Q, the Yi? You still had Q, like if you kept it? I don't think you did, no. Like, I think you actually live.
Maybe I should EW over the wall. Over the tiny wall.
I mean, definitely Q him here, or did you not have Q? Like, you definitely need to Q him so he doesn't even get in range. That's like the biggest mistake here, honestly. Or that would have probably saved you. Right, just when you see him walking up to you like this, just cue him. He can't. It slows him by fucking 60%. You know, he will never be able to reach you then. Like that's the biggest mistake here, honestly. Because not you just let him walk up to you and then you're already half HP for no reason. And then you're probably dead even if you proc the W, right? They're both very high DPS champs. Especially if they crit, of course. You're definitely dead there, but just zoning them with your Q is... I mean, it's something you do quite a lot, but you didn't do it in that situation, so... Definitely a mistake here. Yeah, I mean, we don't really have time to watch all of this game. Actually surprised this game still went on for such a long time, but... I'm sure there were situations where you would have been able to win, but I guess it looked like you were just an autopilot for a lot of time. I mean, that's also what you said. But do you have, like, maybe any more questions at the moment?
Well, not at this point.
Okay. So, yeah, I guess just to recap, I mean, the big thing that I feel like is causing a lot of the mistakes that's happening, whatever, is really patience, as I said. Right, like, sometimes you just overcommit when you don't really need to. What else? Yeah, like patience is the big thing, honestly. Like, obviously, if you're saying that you're sometimes mental booming, it doesn't really show in your match history recently where you don't have any big loss streaks or whatever. But of course, just like accept that sometimes you will lose games, you will have bad streaks and whatever. Just maybe take a break then.
Yeah, I mean, recently I have 65%.
Yeah,
Win
honestly,
ratio,
just
so
keep playing. You should be able to reach diamond. And of course, yeah, as I said, I think just try out like Blue Smite. Definitely try out Futures Market. And see how it works for you, right? If it doesn't work for you, keep playing with this setup that you've been playing with. It clearly also works for you, win rate wise. And of course, just accept that this MMR that you have with like plus 19 and minus 27, it will make it difficult to climb, you know, of course. But if you have like a good start to the mid-season reset, then you will probably easily climb to diamond. It's just like it's just don't think of diamond as like you're definitely easily a diamond player the way you're playing easily. Like diamond players are so fucking bad. Like, I think you're like even high diamond probably mechanically and like even decision making wise you're like jungling at the right times and whatever. Like really when I watch you play it was mostly the same decisions I would also make. It's just sometimes I guess you were missing too many abilities and that kind of stuff. It definitely makes a difference. But I mean, there is not really any fix to that, you know. Maybe it's also it kind of ties into patience, of course, right? Just maybe just really prioritize actually hitting your abilities than just throwing them out sometimes. But yeah, there's no real fix to that. You just need to press your buttons better, I guess. It is what it is. Like there's
yeah.
no, I can't really give you tips for that.
Sometimes I mess up big time, but in general I don't think that I'm so bad.
No, you're actually pretty good. Like really, I think you're definitely diamond level at least. So it's definitely your MMR as well. Of course, if it's quite bad, but really the big thing is patience. I would say the patience ties into so many things. You know, just it will help you in a lot of ways if you just yeah, and maybe just like your decision making. Like sometimes you were a little bit too you had too big of a game plan, I guess, sometimes. But it didn't really reflect in your gameplay. It was just the things you said in the beginning, right? Where you're saying you don't really go top and that kind of stuff. It's just. I think you maybe need to be a little bit more flexible with that as well, then. If
do
you
you
feel like
think
you're never getting top, yeah?
do you think there are team comps that Ekko is not a viable pick?
For sure. I mean, like, what do you mean? To play with or to play against?
To play against, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, let's say. I think at the moment he's actually very pickable in a lot of situations, but there are for sure games where you just feel like you can't do anything. It's mostly against team comps, of course, that can build MR really well, but also sometimes it's just team comps where let me just look at like some of my games where I maybe felt like they were completely unplayable. Yeah, sometimes of course, right? Like sometimes games are just unplayable, but I think there's no champ in the game where that doesn't apply. You know, I really don't think there is. Mm. Mm. I think even like high CC doesn't counter you as much as it did before, you know? Like even against high CC you can build good items against it, you can build like you can take the runes and whatever, and usually most of these scams are quite playable. So I think Ekko is very fine as a blind pick as well at the moment. At least in jungle, right? Like I think he's pretty decent pick. And there are not many comps where he's genuinely unplayable. I think especially just like champs like Xayah and whatever, they can make the game feel very uncarryable because you can't really one-shot them, you know?
Yeah.
So this kind of stuff, but it's not unplayable, it's just harder to carry, I guess, you know?
I don't like the meta at the moment.
I think it's fine, but I don't like that it's like very... It hasn't changed in a while, I guess. That's definitely... Like, especially the ADC meta I'm not a fan of, and I think after the next changes it's gonna be even worse. I think like the fucking Kog'Maw will be S tier, and then Kog'Maw can just build tank items, and he will be an unkillable ADC, which will be completely annoying. But and also enchanters are getting buffed as well, so that plus Kog'Maw is gonna be very hard to deal with.
I feel Jarvan is playable matchup, definitely.
Yeah,
Hecarim
but
is way more
Jarvan's...
harder.
Yeah, I think just Jarvan. Yeah, Jarvan is very playable. It's just Jarvan is just a very strong champ in general. I would say Kha'Zix is probably the most unplayable matchup.
I struggle against Lee Sin the most.
Really, like Lee Sin, for example, is a champ I don't struggle against. I hear people say that he's so difficult to deal with, but I don't know. Like you only need to really dodge his abilities, and then he doesn't do that much. To be honest.
You cannot really dodge his Q if he ult you
If he
first.
ults you, no. Yeah, that's like the most difficult part about it, right? If you're like at half HP and he ults you, then you're just dead because you can't ult. That definitely
And you
makes
cannot
a...
mitigate.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
cannot mitigate the ult duration because
Yeah, I know.
the Mercs doesn't cancel the knockup.
Yeah. So you just need to play a bit different though against him, right? That's the thing. And if he doesn't go full AD, then you usually need to be below half HP. But yeah, I actually have another coaching session now, so
Yeah.
I'll
Thank you
stop
very
the
much.
recording as well. Yeah.